You know what they should do? They should get a picture from the pool of us coming down the chicane. Man, what a day here today. We're supposed to be sunning ourselves on a day of rest.
Thanks for taking me on a spin on this rainy day. I love our car.
What a beauty, huh?
It's timeless. It's a
And
little bit.
I parked this in the front of the Fairmont for the last few days. And every time I come back, there's like a group of people taking pictures. Beside that is the Mansory or the Brabus Mercedes or the Rolls or the Bentley, and they're not interested. They just like real classic style, which I believe to be the Panda. Will we go around the casino?
Yeah, let's do it. Yes.
And I think Gianni Agnelli will be proud. Well, if we don't crash, he'll be even prouder.
You know what it is? It's just like timeless.
Yeah,
you know, they love it. It gives a smile to people's face,
But it does, and I think it's the shape, you know?
and it's a little bit actually, if you think about it, like your photography. You know, it doesn't go out of fashion. And what made you, go into this kind of, sexy, vibrant, timeless? What triggered you?
I mean, in the first place, photography, people say, like, how did you get into photography? And the answer is that I didn't really get into photography. I think it got into me, It just made sense. That's what I did, is to make images that entertain people. In terms of the aesthetic, I got advice off a guy years ago. He's a Hollywood agent. He's married to a friend of mine. He became a friend, great guy. And he said to me, photograph what you love. And he said, and then when you do that, the camera becomes a magic wand, So he said, if you like, Hawaii and a lady surfing, go and shoot that, This is like time ago. And I'd already been doing it, but that just reinforced the kind of belief that I probably subconsciously have, and that is shoot and make images of what you love. What do I love?
And that's probably with a lot of things, if you do things that you really love, but throughout your collection, you have a beautiful collection. Does anything particularly stand out, or is there anything the most memorable, iconic for you? I mean everything is cool, but
it's been. I was saying, like, it's kind of like we look at bands like that have stood the test of time, like U2, Rolling Stones, Roxy Music, Madonna. They all have hits that are just those hits that give you that visceral response, or feeling, and that's something you don't have a choice. Once you hear that, it's like it's in, it's a visceral response. And I know that I have pictures that I get that response from,
Right.
So every time I go to take a picture, I try to make it one of my greatest hits, Can you achieve that all the time? Well, you can certainly try,
Yeah.
But yeah, of course I have, pictures that do stand out, but they're all approached with the same intent and the same, absolutely. But it's like writing a song. You just get some that just, the stars align, and you just have something that's a winner,
It's about timing, at the right spot, at the right place, with the right mindset, with the right people.
Yeah.
And we're doing something great together now. And was yachting, Oceanco, was it your first dive into the big yachts?
I remember when I worked in Ireland in newspapers. I was 20 years old, and I remember one of the other photographers commenting as I was looking at a Yachting Weekly or some like super yacht magazine that I bought in the thing, middle of winter in Ireland, and the photographers in the newspaper old school were like smoking, and great guys and great talent, and I'm there sitting over there at a table looking at like $200 million yachts. That's like when I was 20. So I've always been very connected. I mean, I grew up in Ireland, and I've always felt a great innate sense of connection with the sea and the ocean, and it's something that I've just been drawn to. I think when you grow up on an island, the first thing you think about is getting off the island. So boats, planes, that's all. And they remain key factors in. I think I can take the shades off.
I think today.
Key factors in my work, But yeah, yachts always draw me in. Absolutely.
We had a great project in Sardinia.
Yeah, it was amazing.
How was your, how was that for you?
She got some power, this car. It's a 1 liter engine. That, like, for me, I've referenced it a few times.
Let's switch so we can catch the.
Which way we go?
No,
we wait. There's a red light. For me, I mean, the experience was great because I've said it before. Like, I'm used to having my own team, and that can vary from 4 people to 20 people, you know.
Yeah.
And I work with really, really sharp operators, like people who know exactly what they're doing. I don't even need to tell them. They just know what I need. And then we had this additional team, which was the entire crew, like 33 professional mariners on board, you know, the vessel we shot. And that was like, I was like kid in a toy shop, you know, because I had the captain working with me, you know, and all the crew, the bridge, everybody. And that to me was like, that was a treat. So when I'm taking pictures, I'm very focused on one thing, and that is the final. I already know the picture, that's the thing. Before we even wake up in the morning, I know what I'm there to achieve. It can vary a little bit, and of course there's spontaneity options or opportunities for spontaneous stuff to happen. But I already know the feeling I want from that picture at the close of business that day, you know.
Yeah.
So I already know it. I know the feeling and I know the vibe I want from the picture, and it's like it's already done.
Yeah, no, I noticed.
Then I have to go and make it, you know.
Yeah.
So the one thing I'm focused on is that picture, and I get that picture. And you know, you enjoy what you do, but you enjoy it afterwards a lot more, probably, you know. But you know, there's moments. But that day, I was there professionally, and I was also there as that 20-year-old Tony, maybe.
Like
you
the
know?
passionate,
yeah, the 20-year-old Tony.
The aspirational kid of.
Yeah, and it was really.
The setting was amazing also. I mean, talking about settings, do you have any destination, you know, like a bucket list destination that you still want to visit?
Well, I think if you were to afford me the luxury of one of your 344-foot yachts for like maybe 2 weeks, I think the destination would be definitely less than the destination would be the journey, I say, you know, and that's a metaphor, obviously. But I'd love to sail the Atlantic, you know. It's something that has come up, and we were supposed to do it a few years ago on like a smaller sailing boat, and then little by little people didn't have time or whatever.
You're more a motor guy or
you know,
sailing?
By nature, sail for sure. However, it's just a lot of work when you go on holidays, and you know, I work my ass off all year, so then I want to relax. And I'm passionate, definitely sailing, but then, you know, even if we have a good skipper, I always get involved, and I want to sail, and I want to, you know, be a part. So for me,
we can go here to Hermitage.
Yeah, let's go to the Hermitage.
Our next meeting.
For me, if I want to relax, forget the sails. Just have somebody on a boat, a motorboat, you know.
Let's go. And going on that motorboat, who would you take with you?
Well, I mean, you mean artists, people? I mean, I have to say my wife, Joanna.
Yeah, of course.
She's not going to be.
She should be there anyway.
She's German. Okay, good. We've established that.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, music is a really, really important element or factor in my life. I listen to a lot of music. It gives me inspiration. And I said when we were planning to sail the Atlantic, I said we would have a cook, obviously a crew, 2 or 3, and then we'd get involved. And I said we need a musician, you know. So live music and talented musicians for me. So I think who we would bring on that boat would probably be a concert pianist, double bass guy, percussion, like a little quartet, you know. And we'd jam all the way across. And I play a little piano too, so I'd like to get involved in that. I always like to get involved, you know. But that would be it. It would be, as opposed to, you know, it would be talent, bring talent, you know. Great musicians.
I can see it.
I love musicians.
And then now talking about, you know, we're in the middle of the yacht show. I can just visualize it. I just hope the weather is going to be better.
I know. I mean, but it's still kind of beautiful, no?
No.
And the wiper on our Fiat Panda is working beautifully.
It has a vibe.
Look at that wiper work with a new blade, thanks to Nico in St. Moritz, you know. But I mean, look, it's still beautiful. It's romantic here today. Reminds me of Helmut Newton, the pictures he used to make here. And he'd embrace the clouds and the moodiness of it, and he was a great inspiration.
We're going to do a lot more, but you know, let's push it slowly.
Yeah.
Great. Shall we park?
Yeah, let's do it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Glad I could give you the lift.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes, take a photo, yes.
Can you believe the panda, eh?
No, fantastic, no? My friend.